Hey folks, Leader here once again. If I'm a bit more, the screen is more bigger, you see my video more full screen. I got a new webcam here. I've been trying to change the audio on my channel, but apparently it's the same. I could have got one at Best Buy on Saturday. This Saturday I went to Best Buy. I got a PS4 again, but I pretty much got the same old webcam. Might just look new a little bit, I don't know. Hopefully the quality might be a little good. I'm sorry if I'm full screen to you, but we're going to go, me and my dad were going to go to Best Buy to get me a webcam, but apparently they were closed, not closed, but just doing some work on their shops or whatever, and they won't be open up till mid-October, so I might have to wait till then to get another webcam. But if you guys like this webcam and the audio's not bugging you, I'll keep it. Just let me know in the comments down below. But welcome back to another video. Hope everyone's having a good week. I know it's only Tuesday, so, oh crap. So hopefully, yeah, put the webcam, or at least I don't have trouble putting it on. But anyway guys, continuing my Batman marathon. Last time I hope I enjoyed part 26, my TV show collection part 26 of the Batman. Now, today I'm giving in this video I'm giving my thoughts on favorite episodes of the Batman season 1. Now, I did enjoy this season. I would still say Batman the Animated Series and Batman Beyond are a lot better than this, but that's just my personal opinion, personal preference on it. But it's got 13 episodes, so it's not that long, and it's a different version of Batman. And I do like it. I will admit, I don't love this show. But I do right now, I don't have time to add it more. You know, after watching season 1, I would like to watch more, but I'm not in a rush. You know, I try to watch more, like of season 2, whatever, but I couldn't get into the show. But that's just me, and I'm saying it's a bad show, but I do love season 1 of the Batman. I do think it's really good. You know, I don't love it as much as Batman, the animated series, or Batman Beyond. I prefer those to be better and more memorable Batman animated shows than this. But this is still good for what it is. The voice acting, the animation is good. Some of it doesn't hold up. Sometimes in the animation episodes, the sky can be green and little winter comes, and I don't mind the design for some of the characters. I love the design for the Joker. I think it was great. I love the Joker in this. Definitely my favorite villain. Some other good villains too, but still I think Batman animated series had better design for the characters, except Volume 4. You know, with Joker almost looking like Mickey Mouse. But overall, I'll go ahead and give you my favorite episodes, and there's 13 episodes of this season, so I'll go ahead and start with my favorites, so y'all enjoy. Alright, my favorites will be an episode called The Bat in the Belfry. This is the pilot episode. First, I'll let you know we see that Batman is after Rupert Thorne, and, you know, they're getting scared of Batman. Batman has been around for, well, like I said, this is when Batman's starting out. This is basically, we start out where he's in his third year. Bruce Wayne is in his third year as Batman. So, you know this because when he goes home, Alfred, it says, happy anniversary, so, you know, ever since 3 years since Batman's been around. So Batman hasn't met his big villains, though. But the police just see him as a vigilante, as a criminal. They don't trust him. So, you know, they don't trust Batman at all. They see him, you know, not as a vigilante, but he's a threat as well. You know, can't be trusted because he wears a mask and stuff, and no cop trust him. But I like the moment, though, where I thought it was a cool moment when he catches one of the bad guys. I think catches Rupert Thorne, you know, knocks out his men sneakily, and then I love it when he catches Rupert Thorne. Rupert Thorne's like, who are you? He was like, I'm the Batman. You have Chief of Police, Angela Burr. This Chief of Police wants Detective Ethan Bennett, who was like, he's a cop, but you also find out that he's best friends with Bruce Wayne, Detective Ellen Yin, who she is dead set on capturing Batman. But Ethan Bennett, he somewhat trusts the Batman. He just really can't voice his opinion too much because his chief does not like the Batman. Wants to, you know, take the mask off and put Batman in jail. A breakout happens, and this is where we first meet the Joker, and, you know, oh, I'm just a clown, here in my court. I think it was a black guy who voiced Joker, who cares? This guy does a really good job. The Joker, you know, has the wild, you know, bald, like the rock star kind of hair, and Batman shows up. Basically, like I said, the cops don't trust him. For him to know there's trouble, he has something called the Bat Wave that lets him know in the Batcave when there's trouble. I also do like it though when Bruce has to keep the cover up by, mini billionaire playboy, putting on the cover. You see him, dating these girls at a basket, dating these two girls, going on a date with these girls, and taking them to the basket. Like, hey, I'll buy them like this one day. And of course, he owns Wayne Enterprises as well. But as Batman, when he gets announced to Arkham, he's like, who are you? He's like, I'm the Joker. And the Joker can put up a good fight in here. Because, he's got the straight jacket, the jacket out, and fighting Batman. And almost ready to kill Batman. And he wants to give Gotham a big smile. So he's going to let his Joker guest put on an air balloon. But Batman's able to discover this by doing some detective work, able to find out what Joker is up to, chases him in the air balloon, and him and Joker fight. And he's like, you made me one sad clown, Batman. And they fight until Batman's eventually able to defeat him. And Joker ends up going to jail, but they still don't trust him. Yin and Bennett are also after the Joker as well. The Joker's Batman, but of course Batman gets away as always. I do think the Batarang was cool, and the Batmobile I think was cool. I still think, Batman animated series though, that the Batmobile is better than that. Also Batman Beyond. So if you're futuristic Batmobile that could fly, and I think that's cooler, but that's just me. But it's cooler too. But overall, really good episode of Bat in the Belfry. I like it when Joker, is laughing. He's like, I got a bat in my belfry. I like the actor who voiced him. I think he did a good job. Alright, another favorite of mine is called Traction. This is where these crooks or mob bosses who hate Batman want revenge against him, so they hire Bane. At first they don't want to see Bane as a threat, but Bane assures them that he's got this venom. Bane has this venom that can make him really strong. So, and I like how they do Bane here, that he's an assassin, or hitman, whatever, for a mercenary. Mercenary. Which I think Bane should be done in live action. He should be a mercenary. Basically, if we have the Batman sequel or whatever, we're talking about Robert Pattinson, and they add Bane in there, please make Bane look good, but also make him a mercenary or an assassin. Have somebody hire him to kill Batman. That'd be cool. That's the way I think it should be done. Because again, he's Batman's equal. But first Bane robs a money truck, tries to steal the money. Batman shows up, and him and Batman fight a bit until he shows up his venom, and Batman shows up, but Bane just knocks him out. Bane kills Batman. I do used to maybe complain about Batman getting his ass kicked, but again, he's not fully the Batman yet. He's just starting out, and he's meeting the criminal for the first time. And he basically just walked into Bane not knowing, but Bane gives him such a bad beating that he can't go to the Batmobile. He has to call Alfred, so Alfred has to come pick him up. Detectives Bennett and Yin almost see Alfred, but Alfred's able to get away just in time, and Bruce has to help. Meanwhile, Bane is terrorizing the city, wanting to own Gotham, mobbing banks and all that stuff, until Bruce has been building a kind of like I don't know what you want to call a bat machine or something like that, where it's a bat robot or whatever, where he can, as Batman go into it and fight. So he decides to take he decides to take Bane on in this bat robot suit, kind of like the Hulkbuster almost from Avengers Age of Ultron. Eventually he confronts Bane and fights Bane, and eventually, takes Bane out by cutting his circuit, cutting the venom from his body. Bane ends up, being arrested at the end. And overall, a really good episode, good way to introduce Bane. I don't mind the design of the Bane, but I still prefer Batman anime series, or in the new Adventures of Batman, I think he looks good as well. I think Bane looks better. Here, he's very tall. Bane is, like a giant. He's red, black, and his eyes are like yellow kind of. So, yeah, I didn't mind his design. But I do prefer Batman anime series. Any Adventures of Batman, I think, did better. It's just in my opinion. But I still like Bane here no matter what. Attraction, that was good in my opinion. And then, The Man Who Would Be Bad. Yes. Bennett and Yen and Bennett are chasing Batman, and then they see these bats, and they fly to the Batcave, to the Wayne Enterprises, and somewhat, they suspect that Bruce Wayne might be Batman. He is Batman, but they want to discover that out. They ask him questions. Ethan Bennett's like, Bruce, we know you're Batman. Your Buster's like, what? I'm just kidding, man. But Yen, she's not playing. She thinks, or suspects that he's Batman. So he has to come up and act for them in the episode. And, like there was one moment where in the episode he's trying to get to the Batwave. Has like a remote control for the Batmobile. And Yen and Bennett are talking to him. Says, Bruce, we need to talk now, whatever. And the Batmobile is showing up, so he has to kind of really quickly, figure out a way to turn it around, and does it just in time before they turn around and see the Batmobile, knowing that he is Batman. But they also learned that the bats come from a scientist named Dr. Langstrom, who was working on these secret projects, or, for bat formulas or whatever. And, you find out that maybe he's got like an obsession with bats. And Bruce, because he's in the anime series, when we saw, like Terror in the Sky, or or the pilot episode of Batman anime series, sorry, I forget what to call it for now. Leather Wings. Yeah, we see Dr. Lynch was just a scientist, obsessed with his formula. But here, he's completely bad, Langstrom is. He tells Bruce Wayne that he has a niece that's deaf, that he's doing this work for her to help her cure her. And Bruce, the nice person, the next day Beast goes to her house, tries to, give her like a gift, and says, "Hey Carla, how are you doing?" He tries to do sign language, and she's like, "Mom, there's some guy in my car, and there's some strange guy on the door." He's like, "You can hear?" And he finds out, and Bruce finds out that Langstrom lied. And when he finds Langstrom out, Langstrom's like, Bruce sees the pictures of bats, of Batman, that he's obsessed with Batman. Langstrom takes the phone and is like, "I want to be like Batman, Mr. Wayne." And turns himself into Man-Bat. The anime series, I still prefer that look. And Man-Bat is more bulkier and bigger looking. And, Bruce has to kind of fight him a little bit, kind of like Batman, but again, Langstrom is Man-Bat, so when no one's looking, he's able to kick him in there, kick him in this machine, or, whatever, not in this machine, but put him in a vault, but the Man-Bat's able to break out. Batman has to go after him. Langstrom eventually turns back to himself, but drinks more, and Batman has to take him on. But Batman's able to eventually get a cure and transform him back. And the crazy Dr. Langstrom ends up in Arkham Asylum saying, "Man-Bat will come again." But overall, good episode, interesting episode. Seeing Batman have to fight Man-Bat, that was cool. And Man-Bat did look good, he's bigger and bulkier. So I know I keep on saying, like the Broken Record, like I prefer some Batman anime series or Batman Beyond or whatever. Well, it's because I do, but that's just me. Sorry if I sound like Broken Record sometimes. Alright. And then The Big Chill. This is where we see Mr. Freeze for the first time. And here, like in the anime series, where it was about his wife and stuff, this is completely different. This Mr. Freeze is actually a criminal. Was a thief. First you see Mr. Freeze. He doesn't have a freeze gun, but he's like a giant, kind of very tall. maybe 7 foot, something like that. Has an ice kind of mask on, and can let off you see his face, but he can do ice from his hands. So first, he robs the jewelry. He does say, sometimes the show does say corny lines, but in a serious way. He's like, have a nice ice evening, after robbing these people on a boat. One guy tries to stop Mr. Freeze, freezes him, and Batman eventually confronts Mr. Freeze himself, and, he's like, and, as Batman's getting colder, his body's temperature low, because Mr. Freeze can live at his sub-zero temperature, so Batman, can't fight Mr. Freeze, he's just getting cold until Freeze touches him and freezes. Batman's like, we meet again, Batman. Batman's like, what, I know you? He's like, I'm Victor Freeze, and Batman kind of knows who he is, and you find out that this Victor Freeze, not a doctor, not a scientist, but a criminal, a thief, who Batman, I guess, maybe like a year ago, was after Victor Freeze because he was robbing a jewelry store. Batman was chasing him. He was trying to get away from Batman, and he ends up in this cryogenics lab, and by accident falls into one of the labs. Falls in. It was a chamber he fell into, and of course over time it turned him into Mr. Freeze. It turned him into his body's sub-zero temperature, and he convinces the scientists to help him out. So they give him a suit, which he cannot. He can be living to sub-zero temperatures, but he has to be in the suit, like out in the world to survive, because his body must be kept under sub-zero temperatures. Mr. Freeze has to be kept under sub-zero temperatures at all times. And Batman has to find a way to take him out. He gets a bit of a cold. And Batman in here, well, I like though he feels guilty about it. Well, he turned Mr. Freeze and he's like, that's Batman tells Alfred, I turn people into monsters, it's my fault. And he's thinking about quitting me and Batman, that he's done no good. And I was like, you done a lot good, Master Wayne, Master Bruce. Your parents, I know, will be proud of you. Eventually he's able to get that courage back. And he gets a bat suit that's like a bat free suit, kind of, if you will. And, he goes to Mr. Freeze's, he's like an ice globe in the middle of the city, and Batman's able to take him on a fight, and eventually defeats Mr. Freeze, which, cool fight. Batman has fire, has like these fire guns, which is really cool. Fire and ice fighting against each other. But Batman eventually stops them, which I thought was cool. Alright. Then another favorite of mine is called The Cat and the Bat. This is where we see Selena Kyle Catwoman for the first time. Of course, she's trying to rob these people, these Japanese mobsters or whatever, or Chinese mobsters or whatever she's trying to rob, but she can't get past the alarm. People kind of say that her and Batman are somewhat alike on TV, that, they're working together, but, the difference is, the Catwoman, I would say she's both good and bad, but still a villain, at the very least. When her and Batman first meet, Batman has to chase her around. She's able to track Batman a little bit, and Batman's able to get out of it. And in fight Batman, she steals Batman's utility belt. Selena takes it back home, tries to mess with it, and in doing so, messing with it, she makes the Batcave, the computers in the Batcave, and all the electricity in the Batcave go crazy. So Batman and Alfred have to be careful as everything gets crazy. She plans to use the ring to make an attempt on the free ring that she's planning to steal. So Batman's able to eventually track her down, able to track the utility belt. Yeah, of course, being Batman, he would have a track of that utility belt just in case, because she plans to use it for the robbery. And her and Batman eventually team up because these guys are ready to kill her. So Batman says to help her. They fight these guys. She even saves Batman. So you see, there's good in her. But eventually she gets away at the end. And even at the end, they Detective Yen and says Batman and Catwoman are still the same, and Bruce is like, oh. But overall, really good episode. It was cool to see Catwoman first time. I like the design of Catwoman in here. I liked it. another favorite of mine is called The Big Heat. This is where we see Firefly for the first time. He was voiced by Jason Marterson. And this is also, what I like about this episode, Adam West voices the mayor. Yes, Adam West himself, who was Batman in the 1960s television series, is doing a voice here. That's cool that they got him in here. I think he should have been, in my opinion, but he wasn't a lot of it, but I think Adam West should have been all part of that. I mean, movies, TV shows, he should have been all those, I think. Because it's really him who started it. And I know the 1940s was like, you know, the start of Batman, but I think what really started Batman very well, the success of Batman to me, this reason we get movies and media and TV shows of Batman, or animated movies, is because of the 60s show. And I think you could have at least had Adam West, out of respect, have him more, but maybe he wasn't available. So overall, Batman's, you know, able to find Firefly. His suit's like, yo, he looks really cool. And, you know, Batman can't really chase him because Firefly can fly. He has a jetpack and Batman doesn't. So Batman has to, well, if you don't mind me saying so, Firefly has to use a jetpack to take him on. Meanwhile, as Bruce Wayne, he finds out that the mayor, Marion Grange, then contacts him for this children's hospital that Kyle Corp wants to own it. So Bruce says that, oh my gosh, I gotta go there. He tries to fight Firefly, that was Batman, but Firefly takes him out, and he's gotta be like at court in the morning at 8, but Connie wakes up, it's like, you know, maybe like 7:50, because he's been passed out, so it's getting like maybe 10 minutes, 8 o'clock. He rushes there to change. You know, he wants, you know, even the mayor doesn't get tight, he's trying to get tight. Bruce shows up late, and Mayor Grange, Adam West, is like, I'm sorry, Bruce, you know, you're done. The vote has been cast, Kyle Corp wins. Bruce feels guilty about it, but he investigates what Firefly do. I think Firefly's not committing robberies, he's committing larceny for Golf Corp, because the Golf Corp eventually, you know, if you can get proof that they're the one hiring Firefly to do these jobs. Batman is able to figure that out and takes out Firefly. First takes out the jetpack, he's like, now Firefly, just you and me. And he tries to hit Batman but can't. And Batman knocks him out, gives him a beating. Firefly ends up in jail at the end. And of course, you know, Bruce is able to, you know, Batman gets those charges against Golf Corp, and eventually he's able to win the children's hospital back, able to, you know, give the charity for them. So overall, really good episode in my opinion. It was cool to see Firefly. Yeah, once again, I do prefer this out in Batman anime series, but I like Firefly here. And Jason Marterson, he was, I think that's the actor's name. Marterson, I can't say his name right, but if I believe so, that's the same guy who voiced Max, Goofy's son, from a Goofy movie, and an extremely Goofy movie as well. But it was cool to see Firefly here. Alright, another favorite of mine is called Big Dummy. This is where we get the ventriloquist, Scarface. Find out that Scarface and, you know, all of us are working together, that they're planning to go on vacation, as Scarface says. And then he's got Muggsy and Rhino who work for him. Muggsy doesn't respect him and calls Scarface a dummy. Scarface is like, who you calling a dummy? And almost gets ready to kill Muggsy. He's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Scarface. You're the boss. He's like, don't you forget it, punk. You know. You know, Batman tries to figure them out, and Batman tries to confront them. First Batman thinks that all of us was just doing a joke, because Scarface tries to like fight Batman, but can only side Batman like this, you know. And Batman soon comes to realize that Arnold Wesker has a split personality disorder. That's why, you know, the doll, you know, the Scarface, you know, is his split personality. You know, I don't know all about that. I'm not a psychologist, but you know. And at first they tie up Batman, almost ready to kill him, but Batman escapes. Scarface steals this weapon or whatever. He builds like an army version of himself, you know, so that way Arnold Wesker is the dummy and Scarface is the one controlling. So Batman has to take on the giant Scarface, you know, until Batman takes him out. He's like, and then Batman's like, oh, is this the Batman? Although, we're going to go on vacation together. I was like, well, I need one too. And also in the episode, Alfred tries to help Bruce get a date. Online dating. There's a woman named Becky, I believe. Bruce is interested in dating her, but eventually, because of being Batman and all, he cannot do it. So Alfred goes to Becky. She sees Bruce like, I'm sorry, but the young man's married to his work. He won't come and see you. I'm so sorry. She was really upset, and Bruce's Batman just looks down at her, and he's upset. They had a heartbroken this woman, but Batman is who he chooses to be, so that's the life he leads, and he can't really be married and have somebody worried about him all the time. So, but overall, really good episode in my opinion. The Big Dummy episode. Another favorite of mine is called Topsy Turvy. This is where we get the Joker back, and this time he's escaped from Arkham Asylum. He kidnaps the judge who sentenced him, so he's going after people who sentenced him. He's able to have this machine that can turn people into large playing card style boxes. It's like a large card box he can turn you into, and he uses it to get revenge on this judge. Then you find out this orderly was actually working with Joker the whole time. I think this is where Batman also ends up in Arkham Asylum, because Joker tricks him to come into Arkham Asylum, puts him in Arkham, and Batman has to kind of go in disguise. This has been like, if you've seen Batman animations, or even the 1940s serials, Batman, Bruce has to go in disguise before. He just goes in disguise as Joker and starts laughing. He's able to rip the makeup off. I don't know if it was this episode, but Joker kidnaps Detective Bennett, and Detective Young, has their feet glued to the floor. Yen tries to fight with Joker, but Joker turns her into a large card playing card until Batman shows up to fight him. Eventually, identified Batman turns him into one. And he almost prepares to kill a judge. Batman saves the judge. Overall, really good episode in my opinion. Always to see the Joker here. The Joker in this show, I think he's really good. Still, Mark Hamill was the best when it comes to animated. But first, the Joker will always be Mark Hamill to me. But overall, really good episode in my opinion. Alright. Then another favorite of mine is called Bird of Prey. This is actually the second time we see Penguin. I wasn't a fan of the first episode, which I'll talk about later. But Bird of Prey. Penguin wants to recover his family's fortune, so he starts robbing places. Shows it again until Batman stops him. He's like, "That Batman." He sees Bruce Wayne on TV, and he wants to basically go to Bruce Wayne's house and steal from him. Meanwhile, reporters, this lady who's a reporter, she wants to do it's a subject for television, basically a day in the life, basically of a billionaire. So Bruce gets picked for it. At first, he's got to talk to this lady. He shows her, what his fashion designer, put clothes she uses for him or whatever, because Bruce has that. Being a billionaire, shows him the house until Penguin shows up. Him and Alfred don't get along. He said, "Hey, you doing, old Patsy?" Ties Alfred up. Starts eating chicken and waiting for Bruce Wayne as he sells Brucey. And Penguin has these two Chinese girls who, their bodies, when they take the chairs look like pink and they got knives, kind of like Lady Deathstrike. But Bruce, of course, becomes Batman. And he's like, "How did you know I was here?" And Batman's like, "I'm making my business to know." Batman and Penguin fight, which I thought was a good fight. Penguin here if you thought he was not a match for Batman, watch this show, because if you thought Penguin was not a match for Batman, and here he is. because then he's able to do like these kicks and upper punches. Like freaking Penguin is almost like there's karate in here or something. Even with his umbrellas, he's able to, get a knife. He gets out like a chain in his umbrella, able to fight Batman once in a while. And then he knocks Batman out. Really knocks Batman out. He's about to unmask him in front of everybody. Until they're about to get a camcorder to prove it, but Alfred clumsily, or does it on purpose, destroys the tape, puts it in the front. He's like, "Oops, clumsy me," but does it to protect Bruce, to protect Batman's identity. Bruce fights with Batman. Sorry, fights with Penguin, defeats him eventually, and they're trying to prove that Bruce Wayne is Batman until they suspect it. The detectives do until they say you and Batman are never seen together. The little poor lady says until she sees Batman up there, which is Alfred in disguise, as you find out later. Alfred even put the Batman shirt backwards. The Batman was supposed to be in front, but he puts it in the back. But he's like, I was in a hurry, sir. But overall, really good episode, in my opinion. Yeah, great episode. Very interesting. I like Penguin here, but Penguin in this show I think can be a little annoying, the voice. Sorry. But Paul Williams I think was the voice in Batman animated. I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but he was really good and better in my opinion. This Penguin here, his voice is annoying in my opinion. Just not for me. But then 2 more episodes like y'all. 2 more episodes. That is the Rubber Face of Comedy. This is kind of like a 2-part episode. But I'll go and talk about part 1. This is where Joker returns to Gotham with new henchmen. He's got a new invention called Joker Putty. It's a chemical compound that morphs anything into rubber or putty basically. It basically escapes with his able to use the rubber on the car and able to jump out of there. He wants to reveal his secret to Ethan, Ethan Bennett is having a hard time at work. Him and Detective Yin are being yelled at by their boss, by the chief, who tells them that he's angry every time. He's pissed off because he's tired of them, having to fail all the time, and Batman capturing the villains all the time. Have to capture the Joker, doing all the work. He's like, if it happens again, Ethan, you're going to lose your badge. I'm going to fire you. So Bennett is really determined himself to capture Batman. He trusts Batman. He even voices his opinion that Batman is just trying to help us. But he's like, you're going to lose your badge for that? And the chief doesn't want to hear it. So Bennett is under all this pressure. He knows to lose his badge. He has to fight Batman. But, Batman's like, I'm here to help. But Bruce eventually wants to tell him his secret as well. Batman, and Joker fight. Bennett loses his badge. He's yelled at his boss. So he himself decides to go take on Joker, to find Joker, go out on his own and find Joker. He has a zero tolerance on freaks and instructs his head to arrest both Batman. But no matter what takes down the worst, Ethan is captured. But Madison is tough for the worst because even he's captured by the Joker. He's just take on, to prove to his boss that he can be a good cop, that he earns his badge. But Joker captures him, and Joker tortures Ethan. Basically tries to drive him insane. Has him watching this wheel. It's like, your boss being nervous, huh? That happens all the time. And eventually, Ethan starts to lose his mind. Joker tells a joke, and he starts laughing. Because he doesn't like Joker's laugh, but even when the detectives and Batman show up, he threatens to kill him. And Joker's like, you can lose your mind, Ethan, after one bad day. And Joker's history of being thrown with bad chemicals. Like, I know, how about a chemical back to me? It was on. And he's going to shoot the rubber at him, but the rubber falls, but gas comes out of it. But the rubber still has the gas in it. It later does affect Ethan. And Batman's able to capture Joker though. Bruce calls Ethan and tells him that, let me fall small. I got something important to tell you. He's like, okay. And he's not feeling well. He's just tired and out of it. Tries to go, take a shower to relax. And eventually his body starts to become clay. And then the episode ends there. Then you get to the final episode of the first season of The Batman. And that is The Clay Face of Tragedy, Part 2. But The Clay Face of Tragedy, Part 2. Ethan, like I said, in his bathroom, looking at the mirror, he's melted. His body's freaking out. His body turns into clay. He turns into Clay Face. And he doesn't know what to do. He's freaked out. He tries to walk out to get help, and people are like, they're scared of him. Some cops try to attack him. He fights with the guy. They're like, stop it, but they can't defend him. But eventually, over time, Ethan is freaked out. But at first, kind of starts to accept his power, starts to basically lose control of his mind, and wants to get revenge on the chief, and attacks the chief until Batman shows up. Bruce is able to, but some of the clay does attack Alfred and Bruce, but, it does like a hugger face, kind of like from Alien on Alfred. Batman is able to freeze it and get it off. And Bruce finds out that Ethan is, did get infected. But Ethan Clayface kidnaps the chief, blaming him on what happened. And Detective Ian tries to toss up systems like, Ethan, don't cross that line. This is a line you do not cross. Once you go cross the line to kill somebody, the line's over. And he laughs at their face like, I can be whoever I want, when I want. And even the Joker even taunts Batman. He does fight Batman, and he knocks Batman out completely. Detective Ian tells Batman she took his mask, but she changes her mind and realizes that Ethan was right. She tells Batman this, and Batman's like, you can get arrested. You lose your badge for thinking that. But eventually, her and Batman come understand. Batman's like, that Detective Ian, she now trusts Batman. And Batman, gives her the bat waiver, whatever. If you need me, just call me or whatever. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. And then, because Ethan after that realizes that she trusts him, and as Clayface, he's in the shower, but, he just kind of muds away, basically, shapes his body in the mud and runs away. And, she thinks that, her and Bruce are having, eating at a snack, dinner or whatever, after lunch. And, feel bad for Ethan, talking about what happened to him, and then she sees Ethan. She's like, where is he? And they don't see Ethan. And he's like, he could be anywhere. He could be anyone. And then the season ends there. Alright guys, I'm not done yet. Just 2 okay episodes left and I'm done. I might do another video today too, so stay tuned for that. Alright, 2 first okay episodes. The first one's okay. It's called Call of the Cobblepot. This is when we first meet the Penguin. And you find out that Penguin has these vultures, birds that are committing crimes for him. He goes to the Bruce Wayne's throwing a party. He goes there. He's annoying Alfred, annoying the guests. And yeah, he is very annoying. Eating, drugging, and that he's jealous of the rich or whatever. So he starts stealing money for them. Batman investigates. He will find out it's the Penguin. And him and the Penguin fight. And eventually, takes Penguin down. I just didn't care for this episode too much. I've got a Batman in my basement. That's still the worst Penguin episode ever, in my opinion. This one is just alright. Eventually he captures Alfred as well. He's going to try to kill Alfred. He doesn't like Alfred. Alfred realizes that, he had a grandfather Penguin with that circle of robots or whatever. And Alfred, Penguin's going to try to kill her, but Batman shows up and saves him, and they stop Penguin. But overall, an okay episode in my opinion. Alright. Next one is Q&A. Another okay episode called Q&A. This episode was alright in my opinion. You have a villain called Clue Master. Pretty much you have two people who like are in the entertainment business or whatever. They get kidnapped, and you find out these people are like really smart, but you find out that they're getting kidnapped because they were at a game show. There was this kid. It was a show called Think Tank, Dunk or whatever. The culprit is Arthur Brown, a child prodigy and a former contestant who Arthur was really smart. He knew all the answers to everything, basically. He was really smart. But this girl beat him, and he cried and whined about it. Goes up years later, becomes really fat and really big. You know, as if really smart. You know, puts them in and tries to play the game again, and is going to kill them out of revenge for basically ruining his life. So Batman has to show up. Batman shows up. Okay, Clue Master, I got a question for you. And he's like, ask me anything, Batman. And he's like, okay, what is the true identity of Batman? He just knows, like, trick question. You know, I want to know when Batman's like, you said anything. Batman shows to fight Batman. Batman can't even punch him. But Batman's able to take him out eventually. I didn't really care for Clue Master, though. He'd be some interesting villain. But again, he's a villain that's childish. You know, still lives with his mother. He's got his villain in the basement. And he's got these little midget people working for him. These midget people are even taking Batman to a fight. You know. They're kind of dressed up like evil Cousin It's. If Cousin It was trying to attack and kill you, basically. From Addams Family. But Q&A, it was alright. Yeah. But I wasn't a fan of the episode too much. It was just alright. I guess I don't think he's a character from home, but I guess he's a character they made up for the show. Clue Master was a decent villain. But overall, just an alright episode. Alright, y'all, well that was my favorite episodes of, NLK episodes of Batman. Of the Batman TV series. Alright, well, I don't know what more I can say about it. It's okay. I mean, overall, give my final opinion on this show. I like the Batman. I don't love this show. I can't really get interested in watching any more seasons. Plus, I don't have any room to any more on the shelf. So one season for this is just good for now. But I did enjoy the Batman. My rating for this season, though, is I'm gonna give it 4 to 5 stars. But I still stick to I still stick to what I say in this video, like I've been saying. I still prefer Batman the animated series and Batman Beyond to be a lot better than this, but that's just my opinion. This is not as memorable as it's memorable. I like it. It just isn't. It's just not as memorable as what I'm trying to say as Batman the animated series or Batman Beyond. But this show is decent for what it is. I like it. Don't love it, but I like it. And I give season 1 a thumbs up. And it's an interesting way to see a younger Bruce Wayne and Batman starting out, of him meeting the villains for the first time. Some of them great villains, some of them not, but really good way to start out with the Batman character. Very unique and very different from Batman the animated series and Batman Beyond. But Batman Beyond is the future of Batman. This is a Batman Bruce Wayne who's only been Batman for 3 years, who's just starting out as, you know, fully becoming the Dark Knight. Which in the show they do reference that episode say, wait, the Dark Knight. That sounds cool. Which Batman will become to known as the Dark Knight. But overall, good season. Not great, but good. I like it for what it is. Don't love it, but it's good. But, so guys, let me know in the comments down below, what are your favorite episodes of the Batman Season 1? And do you love this show more than I do? I wouldn't consider it one of the best. That's just my opinion. To me, there are only 2 best, and that's Batman the Animated Series and Batman Beyond. But overall, this is good for what it is. And the thumbs up, though, for Season 1. And guys, stay tuned, because next will be a TV show collection video. Yeah. Literally, probably next will be a TV show collection video for Batman the Brave and the Bold. Yes, the next Batman show cover. Batman the Brave and the Bold. So stay tuned for this. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully I got time doing everything. I think I do, and I will do that real quick. And thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what are your favorite episodes of the Batman Season 1. Let me know know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and see you soon. Have a good day. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.